Okay, so this is the fourth video in this sequence. And the first one is the structural analysis. The second one is the pitch analysis. The third is the character analysis. And this is just a quick review, just some thoughts about the film. I mean, I hadn't watched Close Encounters since I was a kid. And as a kid, when I watched it, I was just overwhelmed with how fantastic it was. I mean, what an incredible film. And I kind of worried that you revisit something you've not seen since you were a kid, and it might be rubbish or something, or just dated. But other than the great lots of '70s haircuts, which actually look kind of contemporary and cool, it was just fantastic. And the opening sequence of discovering these planes, these guys in the desert, what's going on? Just intriguing sequence after intriguing sequence. I mean, there's a great quote by Pauline Kael, the great book movie reviewer, that says, Spielberg is so good, it's as if he's never seen a proscenium arch in his life. And that's such a key observation, because the thing that kills British, French cinema is the theatre, Everyone's grown up with too much dialogue, progress the story with dialogue. It's not visual, In Britain, we've got a terrible climate, so, it's hard to be visual, and it's better to be outside. They say if you're writing a script, if you can, set it outside, because the audience are inside watching it. And so there's a magic to watching stuff that's outside, Okay, you can do those claustrophobic sci-fi sets like Alien and stuff, but in general, let's see the beauty of the world, So Spielberg, the master of all that, these incredible sequences. One of the great ideas, I almost thought this might be a great starting point idea for him, was the idea of using music, these tones, to communicate with the aliens. Just magical, wonderful. I mean, who deals in wonder and beauty, It's almost as if we have no artists. We just have misery propagandists. And, I'm guilty of that, writing all this neurotic crap I write. But anyway, Spielberg was the first and perhaps only person to imagine aliens being nice. No one else had had that in their imagination. And the comment was that Spielberg's parents had been divorced, and Spielberg wanted to reunite them. So there were two forces being reunited. The UFO, this strange force that's from another planet or has gone away, and then there's the mother on the ground, if you like. So maybe the UFO is like the father, and the society or the mother is the mother, and it's bringing these things together. I mean, the climax is the little boy reunited with the mother, and the ending is the hero re-entering the womb of the UFO and going back to magical safety. So there is a big thing about wanting to reunite your two parents, reunite the two halves of our nature, and find harmony. This thing about discovering harmony. Think about the last movement in Dark Side of the Moon. It's about harmony, This journey towards harmony, to reconciling opposites, is very big. Okay, the other thing that I think was a big influence on the film was 2001. I mean, in a way, you could say this is 2001 for kids. A lot of the same people, Trumbull worked on it anyway. In 2001, the climactic sequence is a through the looking glass sequence. And it's you just go into the state of wonder when you watch it. But it's a cerebral kind of wonder. It's aimed at adults. I mean, they say the financing of 2001 was in order to get middle-class educated people behind the space program, because obviously that was such a big, waste of cash in a way. Well, not a waste, but let's feed the people on Earth first. You know what I mean? The motivation there was partly to do with getting the intellectuals to be intrigued by space travel, and then Spielberg's thing was more like taking that magic of 2001 and sharing it with kids, making a kids. Bringing that wonder to kids. Okay, the final thing I'll perhaps say about 2001, Close Encounters, also fantastic title, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, magical, intriguing title. It wasn't just called a UFO or spaceship or something. So the final thing was, I almost think this film's got a lot to answer for as regards conspiracy theorists. Like a lot of guys of sort of around my age, you can tell they all watched the film when they were kids or whatever, and now they're convinced. I'm not saying that there are not conspiracies. Of course there are. You know, we live in a world of power dynamics. You're not even allowed to speak about the nature of power. You don't get a job if you do that. You see, I'm already conspiring. But if you look at Dreyfus's conclusions, wonders, journey, it absolutely mirrors the thought process of a lot of big conspiracy theory guys. What a fantastic film. Revisit it if you haven't. See it if you haven't.